Welcome back to the battlefield. Today's episode will hopefully make a little bit more progress than we did last episode in actually securing some additional territory. We should be able to make a move on this port settlement over here, but since it's about to be winter next turn, I don't think going out into this area is a good idea. There's a really good chance that we'll get caught with some winter attrition. I think I will go ahead and move up to the border of our territory here, and hopefully we'll have enough movement range to attack them. Alright, we'll just go ahead and level up the general here real quick. We can fortify. This army is going to just hold on defense for the time being. We need to make sure that we don't lose this city. Alright, and it's good that I've just realized the army of the Carnutes tribe has marched on over here and is posturing as if they want to fight. So it's possible that we could smash them up and then make a play for their settlement as well. I believe this is the only army that they have. So what I think I'm going to do is let this turn play out and just see what happens over the end turn. I don't think anything needs to happen there. Well, yeah, this guy can get married. That's fine. Have you a wife, sir? And she can have the master trader join her household, and then we will go over to the next turn. As far as victory conditions for myself, I'm not really sure. I think I'll just play this campaign until I've had my fun with it. I'm not really sure if there's a specific end point in mind. Maybe a good goal would be to capture the city of Rome.
Now come the ravens, beaks agape.
You're interrupting me, dude.
Eager for our sword work.
Alright, well, whatever. Now we're at war with the Arverni. That could be a problem because they tend to be friendly with Massalia, the Gallic Greek mixed faction. And those guys sometimes end up being really, really strong, so we might be in for a good fight soon. That means we need to make a move for some territory now, so it's a good thing I moved up to the border. I was going to just sit back in the settlement and wait for winter to pass. Alright, I think I might just attack these other barbarians. They're looking at me funny. It's a completely unreasonable unreasonable reason. It's not a good reason to declare war on someone, but in the long term we need their territory anyways. Alright, we're starting to get more and more construction completed. I might improve this before I get the fishing port here. No, that's definitely not going to happen. I need the fishing port. Alright, well, how much movement range do we have? Not very much. We do need to get down here before these guys have a chance to recruit a lot of units, just because that'll slow us down in our conquest even more. Alright, well, it's time. Let's declare war on these guys, wipe them out, and then... Actually, let's see if there's anyone we can join a war against. Who are they at war with? These guys. Alright. Oh. The Arverni kicked the Pictones out of here. Alright, so we are definitely in for a fight here. There's still maybe a chance we can get some money out of these guys. I doubt they really have any.
I'm sure. But we also need good food.
But if we can get a little bit of money out of them, that would be good. Even 300? Come on. Join war against those guys. Alright, so we got 300, that's fine. Let's go take these guys out. They do have a lot of cavalry. 5 units of cavalry. And we do not have very many spears, so maybe I should have brought the other army over to deal with this, because the other army has a lot more spears and has some shock cavalry. That probably would have made it a better matchup. What we'll have to do is just make sure our cavalry is supported by our infantry. So we're not going into and we're not taking any charges with the cavalry if we can avoid it. I believe they have the skirmish advantage, but I don't really care. The battle shouldn't last long enough for fatigue to be a major concern. You never know, I could be wrong about that, but I'm not expecting this battle to last terribly long. Let's give ourselves a nice wide front line. We want as many axemen fighting as possible up against their light units. And then we'll go ahead and have some units on the flanks prepared to deal with the inevitable cavalry charge. These light units can form a sort of reserve force. And then our cavalry is only going to play defensively. We're not going to get out and get aggressive with the cav. At least I'm going to try not to. I sometimes end up doing exactly that, even after I've said I wouldn't, but whatever, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the foliage just so I can see a little bit better. And I didn't realize how far to the edge of the map I had deployed. I thought I was more in the middle. I guess I wasn't paying very much attention. Alright, well, they have... Are these bowmen or slingers? I think these guys are slingers. So they have 4 units of skirmishers. Let's go ahead and just let the troops reposition, and then we will start our advance. There's the cavalry with their general. I assume it's their king back here. Or their chief, however their tribe is set up. Alright, now we've got a lot of units kind of spreading out just because of the different movement speeds available to them as they traverse more treacherous terrain. So we will definitely need to consolidate our front line again before getting too much closer to the enemy. It's a little bit hard to see where the units are headed because of the snow, but that's okay. These units are still quite far behind, so we'll let them catch up some more. And continue the march. Alrighty, now let's see. Hopefully we can start to discover their hidden units. There we go. Alright, so their slingers are all right here, so we're just going to charge them. I'm surprised they're all moving forward so far.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Right, and the sooner our units can get in position, the better. We might actually just have to tell them to stop. Yeah, let's just go ahead and tell everyone out here to stop, so they can get in position, start to tighten up their units. Alright, I am losing it. Okay, this is good though. Their cavalry is charging our front line instead of trying too hard to work around the flanks. So let's try and get our units to throw their javelins at the cavalry. Definitely going to need some support here though, so these guys need to move up into position. Yeah, my micro has been super bad lately, so I feel like I've had to pause battles a lot. But it is what it is.
All its ammunition.
Alright, now we can expect their cavalry. We can expect their cavalry to pull out of the front line and go after our flanks. So I don't want to get too aggressive with my cavalry just yet. We do need to start sending our guys in, though, where we can. See if we can catch the general out a little bit here. Try and make sure everyone has attack orders. Start sending these guys out and around the flanks, since they don't appear to be eager to engage over here. Let our slingers keep doing their job. Okay, I think we probably got the better of them in that little engagement. Let's keep sending our troops forward. Our horses are doing quite well so far. Alright, so we're doing well on the right flank. We got caught out a little bit on the left. How are we looking so far? It looks like everyone's fighting reasonably well. These guys are actually losing against a spear unit, which is impressive. Go ahead and send the... Go ahead. Oh, we don't want to go chasing too far, guys. Go ahead and start sending units in like that. Our slingers are not firing effectively. Let's pull them back a little bit and see if they can do better with some repositioning. Starting to rout their cavalry. I've completely lost track of my light cav. They're over here. Okay, you guys chase them. Got a couple of units going after their general now. Slingers start bringing down their cavalry. Alright, so we're definitely not doing as well as we should have in this battle. Go ahead and let the general do some inspiring.
The enemy general is dead.
This is good. The general going down will help us start to rout their troops faster, obviously. Looks like they've pulled through my front line a little bit here. So we'll have the slingers just change targets. Yeah, they've definitely pulled through my line there. Send our light cavalry around. Our ambushers are doing the Lord's work over here. I can't even tell what's going on this battlefield. This is chaos. Okay.
The battle is turning in our favor.
I mean, we're definitely winning, but it's not nearly as decisive as it should have been. Just try and make sure everyone has an attack order as we close the gap on the rest of their forces. Make sure the general gets in there so he can pick up some kills. Yeah, the slingers were not particularly effective in this fight. They got a little bit of work done, but not very much. Alright, and that should be it, right? We'll continue. Everyone should have attack orders, so we'll just let our boys run them down as much as they can. The general's gonna have a heyday in here, that's for sure. You guys, yeah, just go ahead and stay still. I'm thinking I would rather get rid of these spear units. Well, I guess to be fair, the spear units aren't really much of a threat. The missile units could probably do more damage to our axemen. But there was a nice cluster of them, and I wanted to send the general in. Alright, the rest of our cavalry I didn't really use effectively at chasing down their army, but what's done is done. Try and send these light skirmish cav after those couple of units, let the spears just get out of the way. I don't think the skirmish cav will quite catch them. I should have had this axe unit get out of the way of the general. It slowed him down enough that he's not going to wipe out the unit. He'll get some good damage, though. Maybe. It looks like he actually might have managed to wipe out that unit. Alright, well. Our battle in the snow has gone successfully. Several of our axe units obviously carrying the day. Dude, I normally don't like to have light melee infantry in my army, but these ambushers do a lot of damage every battle. So obviously they don't do very well as a frontline unit, but my goodness, it's effective to have them on the flanks. And the fact that they're fast enough to chase down some enemy skirmishers is really pretty impressive. Alright, well, we prevented their cavalry from doing too much damage, but they did still get quite a few kills between them. And we should be healthy enough to make the push onto the next city. We'll go ahead and ransom the captives. It's not great for the allies who dislike this faction, but whatever. I don't really think anyone else's opinion about this faction matters right now because there's so few people involved. The Irish obviously aren't going to have much to say about this battle. And we have the movement range to drop back to our territory and try and get a little bit of replenishment over the end turn. So we will see if we can take advantage of that. And then hopefully in the spring we will have enough movement range to get out here and just take this city outright. The Arverni should have an army. Let's send the spy in. Okay, spy, don't get stuck on every random thing. It actually drives me crazy that that happens. Alright, so the Arverni have 2 armies, and they are apparently quite good. Well, this army is pretty much garbage, but this army is really good. They've got a lot of units that can do a bunch of damage really fast, and I think a lot of their spear units double as phalanx units, or they have some kind of shield wall that makes them very, very hard to fight from the front, even for our medium axemen. So, if we're going to go up against those armies, it would be best to be united. But I do need to eliminate this faction as soon as possible. I think I need a 3rd army. We don't have enough money for a 3rd army, but I think I need a 3rd army. The alternative is to just sit at this settlement and play a little bit of defense. But right now, where these 2 factions are both armyless, they have essentially no fighting force. Now is the best time to go take them out. The problem is if we do that, we leave our flank exposed to the Iceni, who evidently already have another 2 full stacks. And we leave our stacks vulnerable to the Arverni, who have 2 armies here and undoubtedly another 1 or 2 in this area somewhere. So they could just outnumber us and bring us down. Our armies are decent, but they're not as high quality as I would like them to be just yet. Choices. I could try bringing these forces down. Even just this small force could be enough to make a huge difference. It's difficult to choose. It would be nice to get some of these guys on the front as well, because they could do really, really well against the shield wall, I think. I haven't done any playtests to see if they're actually good against the shield wall, but their unit type is designed to be good against it. We could also start bringing in some chosen spearmen, which would be really nice. The only problem with these guys is they do not have javelins, but they make a really, really solid frontline force. Either way, it would probably be better to start picking up some more axemen instead of keeping these mercenaries in, because these mercenaries cost basically the same amount as the axemen, but they are not nearly as capable in a straight fight. It's going to take me a minute to think about it. While I'm thinking about it, let me look around at the family tree, see if there's anything that I need to do. It might be a good idea to start sending these people out on diplomatic missions and such. Well, let's make sure all of the women in the faction have at least some kind of bonus going for them. All of the men in the faction have already been called in to be generals. So we actually can't recruit any more armies right now anyway, so if I were to bring forces down, it would have to be these guys. It's kind of a difficult choice. The safe thing is definitely sit here, and we also have rebellions to consider. But the safe thing is definitely to sit here and play some defense, perhaps deal with 1 or 2 incoming Arverni armies. And then once we get a third army over here, we can start twin stacking, send 2 stacks out to attack, and keep 1 back on defense. But safety be damned. I'm going to give up this position for the time being. I should probably get the fishermen's huts, but I'm going to just save the money for now. I wouldn't be surprised if we get counterattacked very, very soon, but I'm going to send both of these armies down to Nemnetum, wipe out that city, potentially try and liberate it instead of occupy it. But anyway, we'll decide that next turn. Let's move on to the next turn and see what happens. Okay, the Arverni are advancing. There's a third army, so I am confident now that they have at least 4 armies in this area. I could also just peace out with this faction. These guys, the Lexovii, the Lexovi, the Pink Barbarians. I could just get peace with them, take the money, and then use that to recruit another army. And then declare war on them later. Let's go for the infantry recruitment. The cheaper we can get that, the better. Wait a minute, where did my spy go? Am I being... Oh, duh, right here. I was gonna say, am I just being completely stupid right now? Alright, so there's the Arverni forces. This army is no problem at all. I can easily kill that. This army would be much more of a challenge, but I think in a one-on-one fight, if we're both healthy, if we're both healthy, I think I could still probably win that. Maybe not with this army, but definitely with these guys, I think I could win that. We got a bunch of replenishment, which is good. Now, what kind of movement range do we have? Alright, so we don't have nearly enough movement range to bring both armies over to this city. The Arverni would not have enough movement range to get out here and attack immediately. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go attack this city. Unfortunately, we gave them enough time to recruit some units. But that still shouldn't be too much of a problem. We also have several mercenary units available, so if we take heavy casualties during the fight, we can always just loot the city and then hire a bunch of mercenaries to replace our losses. This army I'm going to send over here. That guards us against the Iceni sending an attack. I don't know if they can afford a third full stack, but they probably have a third partial stack in the city itself. Alright, I've made my choice. We need the extra troops. I'm going to spend some money on some high quality spears while we're here. I'd like to get some decent swordsmen. Oh, what I should do is actually get the cavalry. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pick up a unit of cavalry as well. These guys aren't really worth the money right now. Once we get across the channel, we can recruit some more troops. Okay, that should be all of our money for this turn. There's a lot of agents around here too, which can be a little bit scary. Alright, now I need to be effective with my spy, because I need to know where it is safe for me to attack and where it is not safe for me to attack. So let's go ahead and send the spy over here. Ah, see, this is why we move spies carefully. If I had decided to go crazy, we might have ended up getting double teamed by this army and this army. Actually, I don't even think I have that movement. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. I'll go ahead and fight this battle as well. We'll keep this one in this episode. The Battle of Namnetum, 263 BC. This could be a deciding fight in our crusade for freedom. Because if we take heavy losses here, we may not be able to hold this position, and we probably won't be able to get back to our other city. So we need to be intelligent with our troop deployment here. Alright, now right off the bat, I like the idea of going down here because it kind of funnels the AI in and makes them bunch up a lot so that they will all fight at the same time and all get exhausted, and then we can just kind of collapse around the sides. But it prevents us from getting a lot of flanking opportunities. So I think I'm going to attack from this side of the town. They do have that one unit of noble cav as a general's guard, so we should still be intelligent enough to keep the spearmen on the flanks to help guard against that. Keep the cavalry out here. Who are we missing? Ah, yes, the ambushers. You know what? Let's try something. Let's stick the ambushers in here, have them hide. And let's just see if we can find a use for them. Right, there's no sense waiting around. We may as well just get up there. It really is a shame that usually when you give your general orders, it cuts his speech short. Because I love the general speeches. Okay, let's send the slingers up there right off the bat and have them just start harassing the enemy light troops. Now we need to be intelligent about the timing of the deployment of our ambushers, because they definitely won't survive if they get outnumbered heavily. Alright, we're in range now. Not quite in range of their slingers, but this could be a good opportunity to take them out since their backs are to us, so let's go ahead and move up a little bit further. See if we can land some early shots on the back of these slingers before they get their skirmishing shields turned around. We were too slow. That's okay.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Looks like we were still just slightly out of range, too. Alright, I am content to sit back and sling away for as long as they will let me. They do have 4 units of slingers. Just try and keep this unit out of the middle of our slingers. I think when the units are inside each other, it prevents them from firing as effectively. Or I guess not firing, but prevents them from using their projectiles as effectively. We want this unit to shatter, not just break. So we'll go ahead and keep firing for a little bit. I've just said it again. I just corrected myself on that and then just did it again anyway. Whatever. Alright, well, if they're going to retreat out the front of the settlement, that's fine. I should tell my guys not to fire at will on this side, because we don't want to waste their javelins on a broken unit of slingers. Alright, they rallied. Let's give them some more stones. Rattle their skulls a little. And as they're moving through these other units, we're also getting a tiny bit of damage on them as well. It's not going to be much, but it'll be a little bit, and that's always nice. Alright, and they have shattered. Now, do I sit back and keep whittling away, or do I just get involved? I think we just get involved. We're going to send the mercenaries in first. Let's get them out front of the slingers, and then we'll have them march in.
Warriors, move out. Britons! You have our spears. Warriors, ready.
Try and get these guys in range to use their javelins first. A little bit too far away, so let's move them up a touch.
They will bleed for us.
And then we'll just try and smash into these Gallic tribesmen. Have a nice volley of 400 javelins in the face. Alright, now that our men have used their javelins, it's time to just get into melee. We'll bring in the secondary axemen as well, so they can start using their javelins. And I think we'll just work this one flank for a little bit.
Chosen swords! The oaks are our strength. Axe warriors!
Try and get a javelin volley in there before these guys go into combat. Just soften them up a bit. Alright, this unit has decided to just go away. That's a little weird. Alright, so we'll keep these units in reserve, and then we'll start moving the rest of our force around this direction, because I think this is where we want to launch sort of the main assault. Move the cavalry out around the flank. I don't expect I will need them anytime soon.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Go ahead and bring these up here. It is possible to get a unit through there, but I don't know if it'll be worth sending my units through there. And then let's try and get up on this flank as quick as possible, because I think that's where we are going to find some good opportunity. Alright, let these guys just duke it out for a little bit. It's not quite time to activate these guys. We can maybe get them a little bit closer, though. Is there a spot they can hide? I don't think we can hide 2 units there, so let's maybe bring them over here and just see what the AI does about it.
Proud
These guys have used their ammunition, so it's time for them to get involved. Bring up another unit.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
See if we can take out some of these slingers with our javelin volleys, just to help ourselves out. Alright, now if we can get a good charge here, that will be helpful. Because they do have a lot of forces. It's still not quite time to deploy these units. Alright, the general is moving out and around this flank, so I might use my general out here as well. We'll send the spears in there to try and help out. Whoa! These guys are getting smashed. Alright, so these guys are losing decisively. Let's try and get them back out of there. Let the slingers keep doing their thing. Everyone over here just focus on that unit. You guys can probably turn. Time to deploy the ambushers, because we might have a little bit of an opportunity in here somewhere. Just bring those axemen out of the fight for the time being. Let's get some spearmen over here. We might need to start working around a flank a little bit. Try and hit the general with your javelins out there. If you can hit the general and do a lot of damage to him, that would be great.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And then we'll go for a little bit of a snipe on him as well. How are these guys doing? They're holding their own, which is fine. Alright, their general's pulling back, so let the slingers go back to targeting the enemy slingers. How are these guys doing? Not so great.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Okay, they've discovered some of our ambushers. I'm tempted to go see if I can go pin their general down with my cavalry right now. Alright, now you guys need to try and get in and around the side here. Start switching out some of our axe units on the flanks. See if we can catch the general. It might not work, but it might work beautifully. If it doesn't work, don't pursue.
Our hidden units have been discovered. Our general is under attack.
These guys need to get up here very, very soon. We'll try and sneak this unit of spears around the flank. Let these guys pull out, just so they can freshen up a little bit. Alright, their general has routed almost immediately, which is fantastic news. Let's get in there on the flank.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, how are our guys doing on the front line? Combat even, taking fire. That makes me think he's not even in combat, which is a little weird. Try and sneak these guys through. These guys are not doing great, but they're okay, I guess. Get a nice javelin volley in there, and then charge.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Okay, can't keep the general in there too long, but the ambushers are starting to arrive. This flank is going to be a little bit of a problem. Can't quite get the spears around there either, so we will just keep them in reserve. Okay, ambushers, move up to here. I'd like you to get your javelins out first. Is it going to work, or are you too trapped by all of everything that's going on over there? If we can get a breakthrough on this side, we can start crushing around them as well. Bring these guys back up to the front line. Our slingers are out of ammo. Send in the ambushers. Let them attack the flank. have these ambushers do what they can. I should have sent cavalry around here sooner, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and let this cavalry move up to here and start firing at will, I think. Oh, not at Wilhelm. Try and make sure these guys have attack orders. See if we can sneak this unit through. Alright, the biggest problem is actually this area right now. We need to start switching our units out over here. Those ambushers are doing just fine. Alright, there we go. There's the big route that we're looking for. I should have inspired my men sooner, but it is what it is. I believe their general was in the city. We'll just go ahead and continue it anyway. Have you guys off of fire at will. Chase down what we can. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Alright, well, that was actually not as successful as I would have liked, but we got a really, really nice chain route on this side over here. That was a lot of enemy units that we didn't have to fight. Now granted, the trade-off was that this unit lost nearly 50% of its men. But sometimes these things happen. We'll go ahead and just keep chasing these units down. Again, I don't know if this increases the amount of battle captives you get or not. I don't know if it makes a difference in a settlement battle. In a field battle, it definitely makes a difference, but I don't know if it does in a settlement battle. But we'll go ahead and get out there and chase them down anyway. And I think that's enough fun for me, so let's end the battle and see the results. Ambushers with loads and loads of kills. Yeah, these guys struggled. That's the ones that went in the center right off the bat, so they took a huge amount of javelin damage right off the bat. And I think that kind of kept them from fighting effectively after that. So it was a good thing I pulled them out when I did. I maybe should have pulled them out even sooner, but I didn't have reinforcements up fast enough, so that was poor management on my part. Either way, all around quite successful. We eliminated 4,200 of them, and they killed less than 400 of our men. When it's England versus France, England wins. Let's spark some good old historical arguments there if we want. No, all of my family going way back is pretty much all of it is from England originally, so there's a bit of my heritage coming in. I have a decent amount of Scottish heritage as well, but I don't know the details that well. Alright, so this settlement is already built up quite nicely, so I might just occupy it. I don't think we need mercenaries to replenish anything. I think we can just occupy it and hope for the best. We could also issue 2 edicts now, which is great. These guys, I'm really, really hoping get a lot of replenishment over this end turn because we're going to need them in the fight very soon. Anyway, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but as always, I hope you guys enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.